Viven en un country. Andan en BMW para arriba. Los fines de semana se cogen a las mejores minas. Morfan bien todos los días. El día anterior al partido durmieron tranquilamente en un hotel 5 estrellas y se rascaron la verga durante 24 horas sin hacer nada, jugando al ping-pong y al pool y a la play. Juegan al fútbol todos los días de su vida. Los botines, $6.000, $5.000, no sé cuánto salen, ponele 3.000 mangos, 4.000 mangos, están vendados por un kinesiólogo. Están bien comidos, están bien entrenados. Las medias, que son las que no te cortan la circulación, los pantaloncitos, que son los de los huevos, que no te raspan los huevos, la camiseta te estira la espalda, es la que no transpira, que sale 800 pesos, no sé cuánto sale una camiseta para jugar al fútbol. La pelota es perfecta, perfecta, 120 euros. Inflada con un barómetro a 8 bares, la cancha no tiene un solo pozo, el arco tiene 7 metros 20 por 2,40. Te aplauden cuando salís a la cancha. La concha de tu madre, no sabés parar una pelota. Le vas a pagar al arco y la tirás a la mierda. Le vas a hacer un pase a tu compañero que está a 1 metro y haces así, se la pasas mal. Hijo de puta, eso me puede pasar a mí con esta panza. No hago.
Big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up, big up. That's the legend right there. He's such a fresh breath of air. A breath fresh air. I'm a bit tired today. But yeah, big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up Jezza. Big up Views. Big up BBK. Shane for being here. The whole chat. Big up to you lot. And yeah, Jez, how you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah. Had a good day. I was up proper early this morning out cleaning my Jaguar car, my classic car, before it goes away into its little bed for the winter. So that was good. And I'm looking forward to the game. And I'm also I'm multitasking today because I'm going to have football, golf.
Ride the cup. Yeah.
You like golf, Jez? You like golf?
A lot of golf.
I forgot to say congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Funny,
more success to you, Jezza.
Very quickly, right? I actually nearly hit the 10K on Wednesday, and then doing YouTube shit, and then it actually happened Thursday night, and then they deducted me some subs, and then happened yesterday, and then this morning, right? This morning, I get the email from them. Congratulations on making the 10K. And you get a cup thing come up on your thingy bob. And I thought, yeah, okay, thank you for that. It could have happened on fucking Wednesday, but you decided to load of subs. Thank you for that. Anyway, yeah, there we go.
Big up. Binks is saying the golf might be more interesting, Jez. The golf.
Quicker pace, anyway.
My eyes are going to be like that.
Big up, man. Big up. Views. What are you telling me, bro? What are you telling me? How are you feeling today?
Do you know what? I'm more nervous than I should be. I'm not nervous about because I think we're going to win the league or anything like that. It's just all of my ops dropped points yesterday. So I can't. You would have thought I had a great Saturday. You would have thought I would have been celebrating, Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone, jumping on the sofa, popcorn, Coke. None of that. Yeah, because I'm sitting there thinking, what is Mikhail bin Laden going to do? Are we going to see Hot Point, Whirlpool, and Bosch? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get Gary Elliott on the left? Is he actually going to turn up with a backbone, or is he going to get wheeled out to the sideline in a wheelchair? We don't know. And that's what's annoying me today. Do you know what I mean? All of them dropped points yesterday. Spurs nearly lost it. Amazing stuff. Do you know what I mean? Can I enjoy it? Not really, because I'm sitting there thinking, what's this clown gonna do today? You know? I'll shut up in a minute. Already checked Sky this morning because I was trying to have a preview, but we know that it's like, guarding government, secrets, state secrets with Arteta. But they're talking about Saka and Martin Odegaard being available. They're saying that he's been training all week. Where the quote that I heard from Arteta was, "He's been with us a couple of days." So make of that what you will. Even if he has been training all week, shoulder injury, You ready to come back into the firing line today? I don't know. You know, is he going to play Eze out of position? All of these kind of things. So, and just the usual PTSD that everyone's dropped points, and that might then determine today's result.
100%. Shane, how you feeling, Shane?
Yeah, same as views, really. Just waiting on the lineup that we know is coming. I'm praying that Villa do us a favour and we don't drop out of the European places if Fulham win. We drop to 8. You know, we're dependent on Fulham results now. That's what we're doing over here, man. We're dependent on Fulham results. Yeah, I'm the same as views. You get all these results yesterday, but they mean nothing. They mean nothing. We know this guy. The thing is, people are saying, oh, if Liverpool win 8 points, the pressure is going to be on him. And I was like, no, if they lose, it's more. This guy will go more defensive. A point gained, guys. A point gained, guys. That'll be his attitude. We got a point. We close Liverpool down from a point. All the top gooners will be ready. I've seen it all popping up on X. Oh, a draw wouldn't be a bad result. Marino's my guy. They're just childproof and everything for this guy to come in and mess everything up as he always does. But look, if anybody thinks that Eze is going to start in the 10, listen, we'll get the lineup over live. I'll hold my hands up and go, I was wrong. But I have a lot of history to base my assumption on that we won't see him in the 10. I don't think we'll see him in the lineup at all. I think he'd be on the bench. But if we see Eze in the 10, I'll be stunned. Because if like Odegaard he's just a fridge now. We've said this and big up the views. We've said he's a fridge. And then we heard Semiu coming out, oh, look at Wanyeri. They're trying to make him play like Odegaard, like it's a good thing. Because we were all talking about the Port Vale game going, what is Wanyeri doing coming all the way back to take the ball off the centre-backs? So we see it as a bad thing. He has to go, oh, shit, now I have to come up with a reason that this is good tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I'll just say he's like Odegaard now. Like, that's a good thing. But, I mean, even if we do unleash Odegaard on them, it's Odegaard. You know what I mean? It's not Ronaldinho. This isn't you know, the prime Pep against prime Mourinho with Chelsea, Barcelona, and Pep's holding it from the public if Ronaldinho's fit or not, and then Chelsea have to change all their plans because he's fit. The Newcastle players just be, oh well, Odegaard's playing, so what? You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But it's not going to be a cracker anyway. I can tell you that much.
We'll see, man. The BBK, how you feeling, man? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling all right, man. Like View said, all the ops dropped points yesterday, so you're like relying on Arsenal to give you the perfect weekend. That's a dangerous game to play, you know, putting your weekend in Arsenal's hands. You know, it's a silly game, really. You know, you play silly games, you usually win a silly prize, isn't it? But the thing is, right, the 6-point gap, he knew going against Man City, he had a 6-point gap, and you saw how he set up. So now that it could be a 3-point gap, let's see how he reacts to that. And the thing about Odegaard coming back, like if Odegaard comes back, it's really an addition it's a subtraction by addition. You put him in the lineup because he'd get bullied all over the park by Thug J and the rest of the crew. But surely, I'm not expecting us to have a brain fart today. Like this is a must win. We're in match week 6. We know what the marker is. We know what we need to do. Now let's go out and do it.
100%. Big up Jalil. Big up Jay in the chat as well. Big up Latvian Dr. Seymour, Joanne, Lenny. What you saying, bro? Big up to everyone that's locked in. Of course, Binks. Big up. And just going back to the game on Wednesday, we saw us beat a very, 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 very poor Port Vale. Like, even poor for that league. I think they'll go down, to be honest. But people are telling me that it was a professional win after not having 2 shots on target for 70 minutes. What do you think of that game?
Well, it was a bit of a shambolic display, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Once again, Arteta deceived what he should have done, you know. It's going to be very interesting. In Port Vale, they're you know, Div 1 side, right down the bottom. As you say, they might well get relegated. It wasn't a great show, was it? and I'll be very disappointed if I see today Marino starting. It's time to put him on the bench. Eze needs to start today. This is a different type of game now. We're away at Villa Parks because I've got the Villa game on. We're away at St James's Park, and it's a tough day out. We haven't won there since 2023, and so we got to step up to the mark now. Liverpool lost yesterday. This is the time when Arteta needs to be the manager that everybody makes him out to be, that he sets the team up correctly. We go all out, guns blazing, and take Newcastle down, because we've got the ideal opportunity to gain a few points on Liverpool. Will he do it? I don't know. I'm not convinced. If Odegaard is fit, you know he'll be there. You know that. We know that, right? Because this is what this bullshit manager does. And once again, there's people making out excuses before the game's even fucking started. You know, I mean, I predicted a 1-1. If he was to set the team up correctly, then we could nick a win here. You know, but I'm not convinced of this guy. I think he's a scrub. I think he's panicking already because of what's happening. He knows the pressure's on now. And it was proven in the week, mate. Proven. He only had to look at the man. He was shitting himself. And he knew if he didn't get that over the line, that's another nail in his coffin. Tick tock, Arteta. And I'll leave you there.
Facts.
TikTok. I like that. Hopefully, this is the last season of this bullshit, but we still have to go through this season. Views. What did you feel about the cup game? Because a lot of men are telling me like, oh, it was a professional win, and we got over the line, and that's what matters. I mean, going back even to the dark ages when we had Wenger, like the last 4 or 5 years, Wenger used to beat these teams effortlessly, like with a C team. Do you know what I'm saying? And a couple of seniors. A couple of seniors in that team, C team, and he bopped them off the park. Like us, we actually defended against these lot. They actually went head to head with us in that midfield. It's just that they can't really finish anything or create anything. But Views, what was your thought on the cup, man? On the cup game?
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought it's a good game to play all of the people that you're not starting normally. So I knew I was going to see Ethan and Miles and those kind of players. He still shat himself having Saliba in there because Calafiori and Mosquera were both fit enough to play. Therefore, that should have been the two centre backs. It's just lackluster. Like I said, back in the day, even in Wenger's day, people want to make up this story that everything was so bad. We had a philosophy of football, though. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't matter who came in. We could play all of our kids in the cup and would still play the same way, regardless of the result. So every time I watch us play this season, I just want to see if anything's going to change. I just want to see performance. I just want to see a variation of attack instead of just trying for set pieces and second balls and just trying to clip the ball in every moment we get. So watching the cup game, it was really disheartening because this ain't even the kids here. Like, this is the second team. They should have been all over Port Vale, like all over them, like 5-6-0, and really give, Lego Head something to think about and really show everyone else that, there's players there that's ready and this guy's protecting the teacher's pets, the Arteta's angels. Listen, even Haters TV has got nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube. That's a blatant undercover Arsenal channel. Everything's just Arsenal positive over there. Saliba's back. They were doing it again. Odegaard's back because you've trained a couple of times. You keep falling on that shoulder. Like, we're going to play a physical game today at St James's Park. So you fall on that shoulder again, and then you're injured again. It's just like, keep touching the oven. You burnt your hand, your skin's falling off your hand, and you keep touching the oven. I don't understand it. And this is what this guy does. So like I said, and I'll shut up on this, it was a bad performance, but let that continue. Because like Jess says, we're just nailing the nails in your coffin. All I'm doing this season is I'm the cameraman. It's not my job to help. If your car's turned over and you know half the people in your car's in the road, yeah, you can't park. You can't park there. I'm sorry. It's not my job to help. It's not my job to feel sorry for you. Not anymore, bro. I'm done with it. I don't want to argue with the other side. Yeah, I ain't got time. I ain't gonna change your mind. You're not gonna change mine. Let's look at this donut, yeah, that you keep telling me is an architect and a genius, and let's just see him fumble the bag. Give him money, give him players. That's why I was happy with Eze and Gyökeres, because you can't use them players. We all said it the season before, and it's now being proven. So let's see. You know, yeah.
100%. Views has got a smoking gun today. He's on smoke. Shane, did you know? I'm sure you did, but did you know that after the first goal, the second goal was our first shot on target?
Mm-hmm.
The whole game.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that game? Because people are telling me that we bopped them off the park, and people are telling me that we beat them, and I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I don't think that's a win.
No.
But yeah, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, well, my missus actually she doesn't drink coffee after about 4 o'clock, but she went out and made one, even though it was a late kickoff. She went out and had a coffee. She couldn't take it anymore, man. It was pathetic. It was pathetic, and it's everything about this guy. Absolute coward. Long throws against Port Vale. The Max Dowman, the only bright spark from it was his true ball, which will be ground out of him soon enough. He'll be ground under this lad's boot heel. Don't you ever play a blind pass like that again. What were you thinking? Don't you ever play the ball into Gyökeres' feet. What are you doing? That'll be ground out of him. Ethan coming back to pick the ball up from the centre-backs. What are you doing? What's Norgard there for? Babs did 5 things we learned from Arsenal versus Port Vale. And one of them was that Norgard is a brilliant backup. He made 1 tackle. 1 tackle. The guy's picking up 1 tackle. 80 passes and 2 clearances. Apparently a clearance now is a nice way of dressing up a long pass that didn't hit its target. That's it. Now it's a clearance now. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing over here. He also bigged up our 93rd minute winner against Man City. Winner against Man City? Is that what we're doing now? Yeah. We celebrated it like a winner. And now all the top gooners are all over the internet. Oh, look at Paulinho running into the crowd. Oh yeah, it's not just us. Do they not realise that they are proving our point? Yes, we have the same mentality as Spurs. Well done, you proved my point. We have the same mentality as Spurs. Oh, look at Chiesa running the ball back. Is that the first 11?
I think so, yeah.
It's starting in midfield.
It is.
He is starting in midfield. Wow. Okay,
Where's Saliba, though? Sorry, where's Saliba? Is he injured?
Injured again.
Where's Saliba? Every single game, something is out of place. Every single game.
Eze in the middle. No, I didn't expect that now. I did not expect that. And I said I'd hold my hands up if it happens. And there it is. Eze in the middle. Trossard again.
He's not
Saliba injured again.
Like, this guy doesn't learn, bro.
Do you think it's the pressure? That's why he put Eze.
By that.
Do you think it's the pressure? Is that why he put Eze in that?
It has to be. Odegaard's not fit.
He's the new toy, right?
He's not playing. Yeah, if Odegaard is fit, though, he's
boy. Yeah. No.
If Odegaard's not fit, but yeah, listen, that's a surprising lineup, to be fair. But Trossard is then he had to throw one in, didn't he? That we didn't expect.
Yeah, well, it's Mascara as well. We didn't expect that because Saliba's what? You're not even going to tell us why he's not there.
So he's on the bench.
He's not going to tell you. He's not going to tell us. But anyway, after watching this. You know what I'm saying? BBK, we just want to touch on, like, obviously ask you about the Port Vale game, and slush, we're straight to the Arsenal game today. So what was your thoughts on that game, man? You think it's a professional win?
My thoughts on the Port Vale game was we started 2 attacking fullbacks, ball playing center backs, 2 10s. Saka should be an attacking lineup, and I didn't see attacking football. So it just goes back to prove it. Like Shane always says, you can get Prime Messi, Prime Ronaldinho. It doesn't matter who you put in the squad. We will not look like a fluent attacking football team. 2 10s. This team, they're 20th in League One. All intents and purposes, they're a League 2 side. And we scored early, and we didn't bop them off the park. So we scored early against the League 2 side and then proceed to put them to the sword, resorting to long throws later on in the game. Norgard on the sideline wiping off the ball to take long throws when you're 1-0 up. You know, those were the biggest takeaways. I'm like, oh Jesus. But he had to win that. There was no recourse if he didn't win that. So we get it. We move on to Brighton. And looking at this lineup today, man, I don't know how much evidence he needs that Trossard isn't a starter. He's an impact sub at best. He's really good at that. So let's use that to our advantage, But I mean, if he has to put him there so he can play Eze in the 10, okay, fair play. But like Shane said, I'm surprised that Eze is actually starting in the 10. So let's give him
Odegaard's not even on the bench. Odegaard's injured, so
he's injured, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of picked
He's
itself.
on the bench here.
Yeah, so the problem kind of solved itself for him. So.
Wait, why? Look, why would you just go and then drop Saliba to the bench though?
he's obviously not fit.
Because he wasn't fit. He played him unfit because he was
Yeah,
scared of Man City.
There's always
He
one.
was scared of Man City.
I see the lineup and I want to give you credit, but I'm looking at Trossard and just like BBK says, he's not a good starter. What happened when you start him against Man City? He stunk. Do you know what I'm saying? If anyone deserves a start because of coming on it and impacting the game with Madueke out, it should have been Gary Elliott. I think we all know that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it should have been him. So I see Eze in the 10 and I'm like, oh, can I give you credit? Oh, no, I can't again because here comes Trossard starting when he starts rubbish. And here comes Saliba on the bench in a very physical game. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like Vinguna saying all the ops drop points. Arsenal will want to fit in and drop points as well. Let's all just fit in. Jay saying Psycho Mick will start Moreno just to prove a point. Well, he didn't. And that's good news, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, that's good news. I can't lie. When people ask me about the left-hand side, which we'll get into, I'm thinking Saka there. I'm really thinking Saka. But nobody seems to agree with me. They all want him to play on the right. I don't understand why. He barely beat his man against Port Vale. Pause. But we'll get into that in a bit. Two shots on target over 75 minutes. Facts. Fact, Lavi and Guna, bro. Facts. That's a disgrace, by the way. Against Port Vale. You struggle to create. It is not. Do you know what is XG? I'm sure everybody saw it, right? The XG thing. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
So, where is it? Where?
Regression FC. No Wanyeri as well. Not even on the bench.
Facts. Ethan should be at least the right wing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to play Dowman, put Ethan right wing. Do you know what I'm saying? Just put Ethan. But yeah, anyway, the XG was something about we're like the lowest in the top 6 or something like that. I lost the fucking thing. Anyway, we're like the lowest. Our XG is 56, 0.56 a game. Yeah. Expected goals, and most of them are coming from set pieces. I'm sure they're coming from set pieces because there's no way we're creating anything. Big up to everyone. Big up. 3-1 Villa. Isn't it? 3-1 Villa. Oh, let's
do us a favor. We could hold 7th.
They did actually. But yeah, Jezza, after seeing our lineup, which we'll bring up again, after seeing our lineup, Eze in the 10, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, and Glock 9 as a number 9. How are you feeling about this game now? Do you feel more optimistic?
Yeah, I think it's quite a decent setup actually. Saliba, we know, is carrying an injury, so he's obviously taking him out, which is quite right. And I see a few comments people have got in there about Trossard. Trossard, he's more of an impact player for me off the bench, personally, right? But when we have started him in previous games, he can have a big influence. So I'm not disappointed there. Eze in the 10, perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm happy about that. We haven't started Odegaard, so that's brilliant. Haven't started Norgard either, so that's brilliant. And I don't know if what's his face and where he's got an injury, maybe he's got, something pulled up somewhere. I don't want to hear tomorrow morning that he's got some sort of hamstring injury, because that would be typical of him. But the question has to be asked here, guys: is this Arteta's actual pick, or has there been a little bit of influence behind the scenes here?
Yep.
I'm just putting it out. Maybe somebody said to him, "No, you can't keep doing this." Maybe the physio team has said, "No, we can't play these players." Right? Maybe the other night, against Port Vale, some of these players pulled up, and they said, now the physios have stepped in and said, "Look, come on, we can't keep overstretching these players." I mean, the fact remains with Saka, we knew he wasn't fully fit. Yeah. So, worried. He's not fully fit. I don't think he's match fit, but he started him. That's a worry. But at the end of the day, I honestly think now, I honestly do believe this. Now, I could be talking absolute bollocks, that Berta is having an influence now. Say, look, we can't keep going down with his injuries. We can't keep playing these players when they're not totally on it. But we know how arrogant Arteta will be, because he started Saka, and no need for that. And where he's not in the team, I think that's obviously he's got something happened. We know nothing about it, but we'll find out, obviously. I'm quite happy with that setup, to be honest. I'm quite happy with that, especially Eze in the 10. Perfect.
No, so Odegaard is on the bench. If the Odegaard is on the bench, when he comes on, it'll be interesting because he's going to play. He's going to get minutes because he's there.
He'll be the switch.
So it'll be very interesting to see if it's a like-for-like sub, or he actually takes out one of the DMs to put in another attacking player. Or at the time of the sub and the nature of the game or the circumstances around the game will kind of be an indicator of what he's thinking. But he had to start Eze, didn't it? He had to. He came off the bench and saved you a point so you could get calls from presidents and CEOs, and he scored during the week. So he had to start him. He could not get away from this because the pressure, he's feeling the pressure from pundits and peers and subordinates. Like he knows that there's pressure, so he had to start him. He had to.
It's an interesting thing you just said there, mate. Because on Arteta's Insta, right, last night, there were so many people saying to him, "Don't start Marino, no need to start Marino, don't bring Marino into the team, blah, 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 blah." Now, I'm not saying that he actually watches that. I'm not saying Arteta watches it at all. He probably doesn't, right? He's probably got somebody that does, right? But at the end of the day, word gets around, right? It does. I don't care what anybody says. These people, even though they're in highfalutin places, word gets in their ear, right? And maybe, I'm just putting this out there, I'm just being a conspiracy theorist today, right? Just putting it out there. Maybe it's now Arteta is seriously feeling the pressure. He's got pressure behind him. He's got pressure coming from everywhere. Maybe the players are getting a little bit pissed off of him, right? And he knows it. And so now he's bowing down a little bit and not being quite so arrogant here now, because maybe Bert has had a little word in his ear, "Mate, come on, you can't keep doing this. We bought this Eze player in, 60-odd million pounds, put him in his right position, right? Don't keep sticking him out on the left wing, play him where we bought him to play." And now Arteta's thinking, "Fuck, mate, I've got to do some shit this season. I've actually got to step up and wait and earn my 15 million pounds." You know, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. But hey, who knows?
Oi. Big up Aaron.
How you doing?
Do I'm good, man. I'm good. Views. What do you think after seeing the lineup? Did you expect Eze as a number 10? I mean, we've got an injured Madueke, so kind of makes sense, I guess. Or how do you
No.
see it?
Like I said, it just gives me more questions than answers because, like I said, I'm happy to see Eze in the 10, 100%. You know, but then why have you then, and Saliba's on the bench? Maybe he's not fit, maybe it's a form thing, but he doesn't usually do that before. So now I'm thinking what's gone on there. To see no Ethan part of the squad, you know, because I thought he might get, especially with no Madueke, as you said, if you don't play Eze there and he does play him in the 10, you know, then he'll play Ethan on the wing, or he'll play Ethan in the 10 and Eze on the wing. So it just gives me kind of a few more answers than, you know, than questions. But yeah, I mean, look, is that going to be good enough against the back five? We will have to wait and see. I like Mosquera. I'm not sad that he's getting a start. Maybe he deserved to just keep his place in the first place, especially if Saliba wasn't fit enough to come back in the team. So I wonder if it's something like that. And yeah, most of the panel's right. Odegaard will probably see some part of the game today when he shouldn't again, in my humble opinion. So yeah, look, I'm happy that Eze's in the 10 though. You know, let's hope that he has a good game and everyone can see what he's capable of doing. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure, man. It's still looking at the team. I'm like, glad that Norgard ain't in as well, because when we played against Port Vale, he was like the lone 6, and I just don't think he's got the passing range. You know, he's not. He's not. He's timid. You can't. You know, I don't. He hasn't got the passing range even of a Declan Rice, and he ain't, you know, known for his passing either. So I thought that kind of exposed Norgard in the Port Vale game. So I'm glad it's kind of, you know, back to a somewhat normal midfield. I'm glad Eze's in the 10. But like I said, where's Ethan? Why is Saliba on the bench? Why is Odegaard on the bench? He shouldn't play any part of it. I will have to wait and see.
We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, Shane, you told us that Eze ain't gonna be in the number 10.
I swore he wouldn't be in the 10. I swore he wouldn't be in the 10.
But Shane, do you think it's because you know that? Let's be honest, Eze is the new favorite toy. Okay, they're done with Odegaard. I think, and when I say, and you know who I'm talking about, the other half, the ones that actually control the narrative, the ones that if they flip, this manager will be out. They are on his case about Eze because it wasn't one or once or twice. I see it in fan cams and whatnot, and I think the way to get to Arteta is most of the fans. I'm thinking, I don't know, because you've got Odegaard ready. Another day or last season, he would have played Odegaard. He would have played Odegaard. Let's be honest. He would. Odegaard's ready. Odegaard plays. So, do you think maybe this pressure of Eze, play Eze? Do you think it's working, or do you think it's just Odegaard's not that ready to go against the Newcastle?
I think it's the latter. I think it's just Odegaard's not ready. I think when he's back in. There's no doubt about it that he's back in. The only thing is that if Eze balls out today, he'll have a problem. If Eze doesn't get man of the match today, he's definitely back out when Odegaard's in. He'll have to get man of the match to keep his place. He'll have to be the best player on the park, and that's the pressure he's under. And we keep saying in the 10, it's the right 8. Let's get it right. He won't be playing like a 10. He won't be playing like a 10. He won't be given the freedom of a 10. We don't have a 10. We don't play with a 10. Nobody has that freedom. It would be hilarious if he is out the left and Trossard's in the 10, but I don't see that happening whatsoever. You wouldn't be surprised at this manager. No, if Odegaard's fit, he's in. I did think if Odegaard was out, that'd be Marino. I really did. But maybe, like Jez says, you know, that's the thing with narcissists, man. They'll be stubborn right up until the point where it starts to really affect them. If it's affecting the team, if it's affecting the fans, doesn't matter. But if he thinks my job's under threat, then he'll make a change. Then he'll do what should be done. And that's what we're seeing here. If Odegaard's fit for next week, he's back in. He will come on at some point, I'm nearly certain. If Ethan's injured, it's on the manager. And if he's dropped him for no reason, that's on the manager as well. So he ain't coming back from that one. Because Ethan played a blinder against Port Vale. He was one of the only good players on the park, to be fair. Eze, after his goal, went missing. Again, getting used to the restrictive fucking tactics of make sure you come back and pick it up and stuff like that. But looking at the lineup, Saliba obviously shouldn't have played like he did against Port Vale. We all knew that. Now he's not fit because there's no way on earth away to Newcastle Saliba gets dropped if he's fit. Absolutely none, unless he's unless he's carrying a knock, or he's just not fit. Zubimendi is my worry in this game. He always has been through the summer against any team with a high press. I fear for him. Rice is going to have to do twice as much running. But I look at that and I go, Saka shouldn't be playing. He's not fit. Rice is on the verge of dropping. Timber. There's so many. And I'm more worried about injuries at this point. But Trossard, like View says from the start, I'm not his biggest fan from the start. He has his moments. I think now Martinelli's his finisher. So he's going to hope that he comes on and scores and then he's a genius again. But look, I can't complain. Eze's in the 10. It's what I wanted. Well, not the 10. Let's get it right. The 8. Whether he's overly restricted, we shall see. But more than I expected from this guy. More than I expected from him. But literally just that one change is what surprised me. If he had gone with Marino, we would have all been pretty close to the team. But maybe he wants Marino to come on after 60 minutes for Gyökeres or something like that. I'm surprised he didn't play him in front of him, being honest. But look, if the pressure's on him, good. If there's nothing wrong with Nwaneri, then he's a scumbag for dropping him out of the squad. And if he's injured, he's driven him into the ground in his training like he does everybody else. So listen, lots of questions for him to answer after the game. Sadly, he won't get asked them in the press conference because they'll be too busy sucking them off. But listen, that's the way it goes.
Even if as they balls out today, when Odegaard is fit and ready, he comes back in the team. He'll just move Eze at left. He'll move him.
Yeah.
And the thing with Ethan, like we know that Ethan only plays if two conditions are met. We're at home and if Odegaard gets injured. That's the only time he's touched pitch this season in the Premier League. But yeah, when his captain gets fit, he gets back into that team. He'll just move Eze to the left.
So BBK, coming to you, do you think even if Eze performs these couple of games that he may play there, he still won't get a chance to continue in that squad? Because bear in mind, this is the way I'm seeing it, yeah? And I understand your point of view, of course, and Shane's, where like Odegaard plays every game that he can. I'm feeling there's a bit of pressure when it comes to Eze. You know, we bought him this season, 67 million. He's a fan favorite straight away. Let it all work out. And he's someone that has been. He's someone that a lot of people are asking for to be on that pitch. Don't you think that play a part? And when I say people, it's not us. It's not us. We're the negative gooners. They don't listen to us. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't listen to us until the end of the season. Then they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe they got a point. But for now, do you think maybe Eze could continue in this squad if he does perform?
Yeah,
or is there like no chance?
He'll be on the pitch.
When I say in the squad, I don't mean left wing.
No, I got you. That's where he'll be.
That left wing.
That's where he'll be. He'll be on the pitch. He'll be on the pitch. But if Odegaard is fit and they're both fit, he has to get them both in there because he has to prove that he can win his way. That's his thing. He has to prove that he can win his way. That's why we've dropped 5 points this season. Not because we don't have the quality. It's because he had to prove a point. He had to prove that he could go to Anfield with this midfield three and get something out of the game. Did not work. Tried it again at Bilbao. It worked. So he tried it again. He has to prove that this can work. But for him to prove that, he needs a run of games where we pick up 3 points with him doing that. People saying that Eze is not this, Eze is that. He feels like he knows more than everyone else. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, every room he walks into. So it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks who's been watching football for 30 plus 40 years. His opinion is the one that counts the most, and he has to prove a point that he can do it his way. The Kai Havertz signing is proof, because we finished second, and he thought that this guy who's never scored 20 goals in his life was enough to bridge the gap on Man City, who just signed a guy who scored damn near 60 fucking goals in a season, and he thought this guy was enough to bridge the gap. And the following year, he went and signed Marino and Calafiori and Sterling on loan because he thought that could bridge the gap. He thought he could do what no one else can. So he's going to play Odegaard and he's going to play Eze. But if he has to sacrifice Eze moving out left, and Eze is that good of a footballer that he will overcome the Arteta attacks, but you don't maximize his output if you play him where he's not as good as in the middle of the park. But he will play.
Do you know what, Taron? Just quickly to jump in. I love it when and you're speaking facts, mate. I love it when it's put so black and white very quickly and very easily. In terms of what you just said, he signed Kai Havertz and he thought that was going to bridge the gap. When you were saying he signed Calafiori, Marino, and Sterling, that was going to bridge the gap. Just how inarguably factual is that? It's ridiculous how like we see fans that still go, this guy might be the guy to lead us to glory, when you can just absolutely break the manager in half with about 7 words in 2 different small sentences. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But it's fact, it just makes me giggle. Yeah, like for 2 years, 2 summers that was as well, spread over 2 summers. That 2 summers, and we're still here waiting. We're still here waiting. What we have got an opportunity though, to be fair, and I haven't looked at the facts, and I will be looking at the facts more for tomorrow. But last year, I remember us being given opportunities, quite a lot of opportunities by Liverpool. We played earlier than us last year, and we just never damn bloody took them, or at least we never took them opportunities a lot of the time. You know, I don't want to throw a stat on it, but it seems like probably about 80% of the time, every time they lost or drew, we at least done that or worse. You know. So Arsenal Football Club have got a big thing to sort of do here, you know, a big thing to show. You know, they've really got to right them wrongs of last season. And we can also say it for this season as well. You know, Liverpool won and then we played Manchester City and dropped points. So Liverpool gained some ground. If you're going to be Premier League champions and your main rivals or your main contenders, your challengers, whatever, drop points in the first game, it's absolutely imperative that you make up ground. And I don't just mean make up ground as in 1 point. Yes, technically that is making up ground. But I want Arsenal to right a few wrongs today. I want Arsenal to be able to show that under the pressure of needing a win to gain points, they can win. But not only that, they can go to the big grounds with big atmospheres against nasty teams, which Newcastle are, and good teams as well. They've got some fantastic quality in that midfield. I want us to be able to see us right some wrongs. Change, go there, and all right, we might not see us pepper their goals. I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept we're probably not going to see 35 shots when 16 of them are on target. I accept that. But I want us to go there and not have 1 shot on average per 3 games. That's what I want us to see. I want us to come out and, you know what, of course we'll take a stinky 1-0 win. But we've played stinky and constantly lost against Newcastle and haven't even touched them. So I just want to see what we're about. And that brings me to the lineup, yeah? So even though it's only sort of 1 player changed in terms of what the the lineup looks like, I wanted Arteta to not shit the bed, and at least he hasn't done that with the lineup. And by that, we obviously all know we're talking about playing Marino. Whether that some of the lineups beat by default in terms of the Saliba thing or whatever, we don't know. The left wing, neither of them are that great. So maybe it could be a good little tactical thing that he's left Martinelli on to maybe do what he's been doing over the last couple of games and come on and win us the game. So if he's gone down that avenue, I can kind of see why he started Trossard. But what I don't know is what position formation rather he's playing. I know the 4-3-3 with Eze in there can very quickly transition to a 4-2-3-1 because all you've got to do is just drop 1 player and move 1 there. So maybe he's got that in mind. So if it is, and I've heard some of you guys say he's playing in the 10, which would by definition mean that he is playing a 4-2-3-1 or will spend the vast majority in there, I'm not going to complain about the lineup because that's what I've been asking for. A double pivot of Zubimendi and Declan Rice with Eze in the 10. Unfortunately, we can't do sod all about the left winger. And do you know what? I'd love to see Max Dowman or an Ethan. I don't know why Ethan's not in the squad. Maybe that's an injury. If it's an injury, we can't do nothing about that. But I don't know if anyone said it on this panel or anyone said it in general. Max Dowman against that midfield and that defense? No, not today. Not today. So it really kind of leaves us out of, I mean, maybe he could have played Martinelli on that right-hand side, but meh. So, I mean, Saka's played the last couple of games. Maybe he's played. He's not in the squad, is he? I've seen that, or is he in? Yeah, so if he's not in the squad, something's telling me maybe he's injured. Because if he, so I'm going by that. If he is in the squad, play him out there. Absolutely 100%. If he's not in the squad, then don't. So I kind of sort of see it's almost the Saka by default. Maybe he isn't sort of fit. I don't really know, but I mean, we hope he is fit. He's played the last couple of games. This is the sort of team I want us to see playing on a regular basis, an attacking sort of side by the looks of it, you know. And to go back on Odegaard as well, I just want to get this in. I mean, there's no hiding that I don't like the man, but there is an opportunity for a horses for courses with Martin Odegaard. And when you are playing a 4-3-3, this is just specifically when we're playing a 4-3-3. I would like us to see us against them teams where we should be beating the flat track bully games, playing Odegaard on that right 8 and Eze on that left 8, maybe. So just seeing us playing 2 attacking midfielders as opposed to Zubimendi, Rice, and Marino. You know, I think there are games at home against, you know, the struggling teams where we should be able to play an Odegaard who is a little bit more neater on the ball, but is the guy before Eze. I know that isn't today. That game absolutely isn't today, but there is a place for Odegaard, and the only place for that is as not captain for a start, and 2, sometimes he is in the home games a flat track bully. I'm glad he's not playing today. I don't think he's anywhere near good enough to play today. But yeah, I've got no real complaints. It just depends how they go about the game, doesn't it? Because the lineup in it's fine. I'm glad Eze's in there in that position, and we've got a left winger, so I've not got no real complaints. But I'm also still now cautious about whether Mikel Arteta's going to start them by kicking the ball out for a throw in again, like we did against Liverpool, because that's what makes me shit the bed and leave skids on the way out. So I'll bring my thing to a close now. I suppose we'll see in the first 5 or 10 minutes how Mikel Arteta's team that he's put out there is actually going to approach the game. I just hope it isn't going to be defensively, including Eze, man.
Yeah.
Apparently, just before someone comes in, Wanyeri did travel, so I think he might just have been left out of the squad.
Oh, right. Yeah, so that does change a little bit. That does change.
Do you think he fell out? Do you think he fell out with him? Maybe there's a problem. I don't remember him being injured. He was perfectly fine.
Yeah, but he also brings injured players along in it, so we can't really read too much into that.
True.
I think you missed the point here. Is that he will always take 2 to 3 players more than he's going to put in the squad. Because we've seen in the past where a player gets injured in the pre-game warm-up and he's got to change the team lineup. So it's just possible that today Arteta said, "No, it's not your day today, son."
Yeah, you haven't made the squad. Yeah,
you're not making.
I just think it's odd putting a 15-year-old in and not Ethan, especially. It's going to be different than the pre-season. If Dowman comes on, Dan Burnerson is going to go right through him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Aaron, it's not a day today for Dowman.
No, not at all.
It's not. And I think also he's probably thought about this and thought, no, and where it's not your day today either, son. So you're up against some proper physical players today, and let's get it on. Let's get it right. They are still very young. We can't afford Dowman or Enweri to pick up a naughty injury.
Yeah.
So I think maybe Arteta's been a little bit cute today. He's probably brought Enweri along and just said, "No, sorry, mate, you're not making the team today." That happens.
That does happen, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, he knows, right? Arteta knows. Liverpool cocked up yesterday, right? And he knows he needs that win today. He needs those 3 points. To sitting where we are right now, I think we're in 5th spot at the moment. Yeah. He knows he's got to win this game.
We're in 7th. We're in 7th.
Yeah, 7th, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cluster right there.
The only thing is, Jez, though, with the Wanyeri thing, we're starting with an unfit Saka and no other right winger on the bench.
Yeah,
surely he should be on the bench.
I think
surely he should be on the bench.
You've got to look at here, right? This is my view. I'm not saying this is Arteta's view. This is my view. Saka's far more experienced. Yeah, and where he's a great player, Max Dowman's one for the future. I just don't think they're the right players for this game.
Oh no, but I mean, just have him on the bench in case Saka can't finish 90 minutes. You know what I mean? We don't have anyone to come on if he can't finish 90 minutes. We're gonna have to put Martinelli in the right there.
Who is on the bench? Anybody?
Dowman would be the only one that can come in.
I can read the bench out to you, boys, right now. So the bench is Kepa, Dowman. Yeah, if you want to bring it up on your thing, by all means, yeah.
Here it is. Just to be easy. Kepa, Saliba, MLS.
You've got Martinelli there. So Saka, Martinelli can play on the right.
Yeah.
So you've got Martinelli there to come on for Saka or Dowman, right? Because he can switch that now. But I don't know. It's just my theory. I mean, I could be
Do you-
talking.
Do you know
Oh,
what,
that's all
Jez?
good, that's
I
all
think
good,
it's
though.
sorry. Go on, View.
Yeah, no, sorry, no, that's all good, and you're right. And the thing is, if it was a competent coach, maybe we could start thinking like that. But it's just not, and he usually just does stuff out of either spite or stubbornness. You know, I mean, maybe for me, I totally agree that Dalman, especially, probably ain't ready for this game. Ethan's 18 years old. He's been playing for me. He's much more ready. He's good to have at least on the bench. For you to just say you're going to sit down this week, you might be right. And that might be exactly what's gone on. He just said, look, I don't think you're the right guys for the game. But like the reason why we've got PTSD is because usually his decisions ain't made out of competence. It's made out of something else. Do you know what I mean? Pressure, arrogance or stubbornness, or just because you don't want to let everyone know what's going on. If he was a little bit more transparent with everyone, then maybe we could kind of look at his decisions in a good light. But for me, kind of looking at it, and I didn't even, that weren't the first thing I thought, Jez, either. So that's a great point. But the first thing I thought is he's either injured or he's just been left out of the team. And either way, it's not a good look on him. You know, but that's a good point, because I didn't think he's thinking, they're just not the right players for the game. But like I said, shut up, is because of how he normally operates, why we're always going to black straight away. Do you know what I mean? But I'll shut up.
Yeah.
With that.
Do you know what as well? Like I said, we've got to remember as well with the Ethan thing, we're basing it on an assumption, right? But assuming that he is fit, I do reckon that's a managerial error to put Dalman in as opposed to Ethan.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's built more. He's that little bit older. He is more experienced. It almost doesn't make a difference whose ceiling's higher at this point. You've got a 15-year-old kid, maybe just turned 16, and an 18-year-old who has had a season of Premier League football, can play there. He essentially, if they're both fit, he is that bit more ready for this Premier League game. So on the assumption that Ethan Nwaneri is fit, I believe 100% he is a managerial error. If he isn't, or he's picking up a slight knock and he's just going, look, maybe if he was to come on the field, maybe you'd worsen it. We don't all know this. Then fair enough, it is what it is, you know. But one thing I will say is, and I will agree with views, and I'll sort of use this analogy for something else, and I'll use it again. You cannot blame us for having Arteta PTSD. You cannot, because we've got such a large bite-sized chunk to go on of this manager doing these crazy things. And I use this analogy. It's like if your missus went out to the nightclub and she cheated on you, and for whatever reason you forgive her. If she's going to go out to the nightclub then again, you're still going to remember that. It doesn't matter if you forgive her, you're always going to have them back of your head. She cheated on me last time.
Hey, this is extremely triggering for me, by the way.
Always going to have that shit. I'd never cheat on you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Cool. Big up Kwaji put in the chat what Arteta said. Arteta said William Saliba is recovering from an ankle injury he's trying to resolve. Right, so you played him for 85 minutes against Port Vale. We have to manage the squad. Martin Odegaard is very keen. He's trained the last 2 days. He's desperate to get in the pitch. These stadiums and these moments make your team. Those challenges make a better team. It's going to be physical. Just tell us why you didn't play them instead of fucking prattling on.
Rigmarole. Always a rigmarole with him. My goodness.
But this is right as well. It could have just been that, and I wish to God that we could all just look at this manager and say, yeah, that's exactly what it is, because he's a competent coach and he knows what he's doing. But you know, like I said, we're the only species on the planet, you know, that can pick up patterns and do recollection and, you know, try and determine the past to, you know, or look at the past to determine it. No other species can do that. So why do we? So that's the only thing we can use.
Look at this views. No, just William Saliba's covering from an ankle injury. No, the same one, mate. Why are you saying it like it's a new fucking injury? That was an ankle injury you got at Anfield, pal. And you made him play. Then you rushed him back. Then you played him against Port Vale when he didn't need to play. And now he words it like it's a brand new injury. It's the same injury that you rushed him back on.
And that's deliberate, by the way, Shane. He deliberately uses those words. Like he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He does it every time. Yeah. He does it every time.
Yeah. And he gets away with it.
That's because he won't get pushed by the Cantons and the Zippies and all these guys, man.
100%. 100%. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up Latvian is saying, where is Ethan? We don't know. Big up Dr. Seymour saying, or maybe Josh or Berta stepped in and said, play Eze in the 10. I personally believe
Odegaard will be back in the 10 as soon as he's back. Odegaard will be back in the 10 as soon as he's back.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see for that, Dr. Seymour. We won't know right now. But Saliba and Gabriel didn't want to run with Haaland last week. Gabriel got turned and Saliba was all over the place. But Arteta would have never played Eze in the 10 over Odegaard, Defo, and Influence. Big up to Unknown. Big up, man. Big up, big up. Joseph is saying Dan Burn would try and smash into Dalman if he came. That's a tough one. Look, I'll be real with you, Joseph. I'm a big Max Dalman fan. Huge Max Dalman fan. But yeah, for the physicality of this game, I would play Ethan, but I'd still give him like half an hour, the last half an hour, something like that, just maybe to create something. You saw against Port Vale, one pass through over the top, Gyökeres by himself. Gyökeres should have scored that, by the way. Gyökeres should have scored that.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, no problem. Big up, Shane. Shane needs to run. Shane, thank you for being here first.
No bothers, man. No bothers.
And what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the game? What do you think after seeing the lineup? What's the prediction?
Do you know what? Someone just went for me on X with I hope you're happy with the attacking lineup. And I said, well, a lineup is a lot different to tactics, mate. You know what I mean? A lineup are a lot different to tactics. Eze won't be given a free roll. You know what I mean? He'll still do better than Odegaard. He'll do better than Marino. He will create more chances. But I'm still going to stick with it. I think 1-0 to Newcastle or 1-1 at a push. I don't think it changes much, really. I really don't, because we'll still probably end up with 2 shots on target max. We're going into this game against a team that's won 1 once this season in the league. And I did a poll in my chat and 13% thought we'd win. Dan Potts did a poll on his chat and 17% thought we'd win. So how the fuck are the bookies putting us as favourites and all this bollocks? There's a different narrative to Arsenal out there than what we see every time we watch them. So if he goes there and proves me wrong, great, we're 2 points off Liverpool. If he goes there and shits the bed with a draw or a loss, it just proves that he's a fraud. It proves that he's a fraud. And you can't suddenly expect the team to start playing attacking football after 2.5 years of playing rotten, stinky football. It's very hard to make that switch. So we'll see. If Eze gets the ball, great. If we get, now we're having to celebrate games when we finish. Oh, well, we didn't have any injuries. That's what I'm hearing now. Well, we didn't have that. We celebrate that now, not having any injuries. You know what I mean? So I am actually looking at that and going, let's see if Gabriel can last the pace, and Timber and Royce and Saka and all these guys. I pray they can, because we need them to get through the season. But we'll see what happens. I'm a bit worried about the lack of wingers on the bench. The fact that one of them's Dauman. If Martinelli has to come on for Trossard, then Dauman has to come on for Saka if he goes off. Obviously, he'll probably put Eze out the left and bring Odegaard on at some point and take Trossard off for that. But we'll see how it goes. Trossard from the start, I'm never pushed. Gyökeres, I think, is still going to be starved of service, but not as much. Hopefully, Eze can lay a few on a plate for him, and this Lego head is left with the no other option than to keep playing Eze there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But thanks for having me on. Big up to the legendary panel and the wonderful chat. I got to go start dinner so it's ready for after the match. And I'll talk to you later, people. Absolute legend.
See you later, Shane.
Views. I know you need to run as well. Big up to Views. And yeah, what's your prediction after seeing the lineup, man?
I'm still going to go for a 1-1. Obviously, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win game. Like I said, I am surprised to see Eze in the 10. And I'll give Arteta credit for that, But like I said, with him, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because now there's, further questions about some of the other players that we might have wanted to see. But we haven't won there since 2023. How many shots on target have we had in the last however many games? I've been seeing people predicting 3-0s, 4-1s. I'm like, huh? Based on what? Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, look, it's a must-win game. But I can still see Arteta with the handbrake on. I'm saying 1-1. I'm saying 1-1, man.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Big up for being here, of course.
Big up, brother.
And yeah, man. Big up all the panel. Big up the chat. Make sure you're liking, subscribing. We'll catch you over at the watch along, man. Big up, guys. Big up.
Make sure. Big up, man. Big up. Aaron, I know that you need to shoot. Makes sense.
I'm going to the pub. Yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy it with a couple of mates. Yeah. Well, not a couple cans. God knows how many pints, not a couple cans.
You didn't want to travel St. James's.
No, I didn't really fancy that today. No. I don't go to a lot. I haven't got a lot of points on my sort of thing. It's one of them with the Arsenal away games. You've got to really earn it. Like I've had my season ticket for maybe 7-8 years. and it's hard to build them up. It's really, really, really difficult, and you've got to earn your stripes, which is fair enough. And you've got to earn them by going to the Newcastle, basically the other end of the country game.
Sitting way up there and shit.
I can't do a lot of away games. If I'd done both, I'd be away all weekend. I've got 2 young kids, so But what I can do is take my kids to football today, and I can go down the pub and get drunk because I've got the day off work tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to be crawling home, dribbling in the Uber on the way back, and hopefully coming back with a win. Probably not, but it all depends. Yeah, I always say to me mates, I was like, look, if we get beat bad, I'm getting drunk. If we have a good win, I'm getting drunk. What about a draw? Oh, fuck it, I'll just get drunk.
What about a draw?
Win-win situation. That's a win-win situation right there, Aaron.
Yeah, well, you got to. Yeah, you got. If you're an Arsenal fan, you got to put yourselves in some win-wins, isn't you? Otherwise, you end up putting a thing around your head. You know what I mean? And ta-la.
100%. But what's your prediction after seeing the lineup? What was it before, and what is it now?
It was 1-1, and that's sort of why I said, I'm happy with the lineup in terms of that he hasn't gone with the defensive Mourinho sort of side of things. I don't think it changes too much. It just gives me confidence. Maybe it goes from being resigned to the fact that the best we could do would be a draw, and now we've got an Eze on the field, and maybe we're switching formation up. It at least just gives me fingers, and do you know what? Maybe we could have that little extra edge. I'm still going to stay with 1-1. But at least I sort of think now we've got more of a chance of getting a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win, as opposed to starting with a Rice, Mourinho, Zubimendi and going, oh, look at the state of what we've got, I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. But it just gives me more confidence of being able to nick a win as opposed to the draw. But I'll still stick with 1-1, which, even though it still does catch up with points for Liverpool, I just want us to see us. These are sort of the weekends, and I don't want to waffle on too long, but we always knew this weekend, being 5 points behind before Liverpool played, was going to be quite an early pivotal weekend because we're at the end of September. If Liverpool win and we play this game, we've got a chance of being 7-8 points behind, and I'm sorry, that's all but curtains for Arsenal Football Club. You draw and you're still 5 points behind. It's meh. But we've got an opportunity here. This is a big opportunity. This is I don't want to say like a Champions winning weekend, but it's a real big opportunity for Arsenal Football Club to get within 2 points. And when you sort of look at the fixtures we had, if you was to have said in pre-season that we're going to be only 2 points behind Liverpool, having played Manchester United away, Liverpool away, Newcastle away, and Manchester City at home, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? If you look at it that way, I think we have been disappointed. When you analyse the games, you can be a bit more critical. But I think if you was to sort of look at it and go, you've come out that period and you're 2 points behind, you're in it. You are in it. I'll argue that. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I am very critical of the football club, but if we can be 2 points behind off today, considering the games we played, I think it'd be okay. And you look at the next sort of run of fixtures, there are some tricky ones in there for sure, but I just feel like a win today, even whether it's a shitty win, a win today, I really think could just be that little springboard to at least give us the effort to do something. A crappy draw and a win, it's kind of not doing something. So they've got an opportunity, Arsenal Football Club and Mikel Arteta and them players out there today, to get themselves in a title race. Because they're not in it, I don't think, at the minute. And I don't think they'll win it in the minute. And if we win, I still won't think we'll win it. But they've got an opportunity to turn a few people's heads. At least go, yeah, fair enough. That's what I want from today. Surprise me. Go out there and win it. Close that gap to 2 points. Make me fucking happy. Do something. That's what I want to see today. But look, man, Rashid, I do have to shoot. I'm really, really, really grateful that you've allowed me to be on your platform. I'm extremely humbled to be on a platform with Jez, or Taron and Shane and Views. Thank you very much for inviting me. And of course, the most important people, and that is to our right-hand side, and that's the chat. I hope we all come back to our next streams whenever and however and whatever platform they'll be, and we'll talk about an Arsenal win. But until then, I'm going to go sink a couple of liters or a few liters of Stella, and yeah, I will try and be legible and literate and whatever it is next time I'm on stream, because heaven knows it won't be later. I'll be dribbling. Take it easy, everyone. Cheers, Taron.
Take it
Appreciate
easy.
your world-class chat.
Take care,
Take
man.
it easy, everyone, man. Come on, you
Yeah.
Gunners. Please
Take
show
care.
us something.
Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners. But yeah, Biggs is saying Arteta got some heat from Sky Sports last week for not playing and keeping handbrake on. I'd say that's the only reason Eze is there. Otherwise, he would have gone with Moreno again. Jezza, what do you think about this one? Do you think it's the heat?
No, I don't think he listens to that at all. I think he's way above that. Wrongly, I have to say. I don't think he actually listens to the fans. I mean, I said earlier about on his post on Instagram, his Instagram site, he don't read the comments. Somebody does, of course. He's not influenced by the likes of us. At the end of the day, he'll do what he wants to do. He'll do what his mindset tells him to do. I think today he just knows he's under pressure, and Liverpool slipped up yesterday, and here's an opportunity to get back into the second place. And he knows he's got to do that. He knows he's got to do that because he is under pressure. Josh has told him, right? We've got to win trophies. So he knows he can't cock up. Personally, that team lineup for me hasn't influenced my decision. I still think it's going to be a 1-1. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong because I want us to nick that game. I want us to get those 3 points. If he doesn't, well, you have to say, well, you've got to question what you've done here. But personally, I'm happy with the lineup. I don't think this is the game for Nweri, and I don't think it's the game from Dowman personally. But never mind, we'll see what happens in the game. But the pressure's on him. He knows it. So there we are. We'll see what happens.
We will see. BBK, what's your thoughts on this one? Because I saw you do this, so I'm guessing that you agree somehow.
Yeah, because the people who sit on Sky Sports are well-respected guys like the Roy Keanes of the world, and guys who have played at the highest level, guys who have won, guys who have done things that Arteta didn't do as a player. So whether he listens to it or not, I don't, but he hears it. And sometimes, kind of like if we're in a room talking about Arsenal, me and you and views, respectfully, we know our football, but when Jez starts speaking, we get quiet. Right, because he knows more about the Arsenal than we do. Right, he is the Arsenal encyclopedia. So I think he hears it. Whether or not he listens, not sure. But I do think there's something there from Binks. Looking at this lineup, I'm glad Eze is in there. The thing with this Newcastle team, I'm not scared of them. They don't score goals. They have scored the least amount of goals in the Premier League. They've only scored 3 goals. They don't score goals. We don't concede. So that kind of would have all the hallmarks for a draw, wouldn't it? Like a sticky 0-0. We don't concede and they don't score. But I think most Premier League teams, you give most Premier League teams a healthy dose of 90 minutes of Eze in a creative space, you will create chances. And I do believe if we create enough chances for Gyökeres, he scores. So yeah, I think Arsenal edged this one 2-1. Just.
Hopefully. Laurie was saying, well, Joseph is saying that Laurie was saying that he would start Norgard over Zubamendi because he has great lungs. So what I would say to this is, Mr. Laurie, when he gets the ball back, then what? Because that's something we're dealing with when it comes to Rice. Nobody said that Rice isn't physical. Rice can't get the ball. The problem is after he gets the ball, then what? As the midfielder, you need to be able to do both.
Yeah, that's a great point, man.
Best midfielders in the world, right? Caicedo at Chelsea, he can do both. He can get the ball and then he can create something out of that ball, or at least break the lines. We do not break lines. And people like Laurie is the reason why Arteta keeps playing the way that he is and getting away with it.
Yeah, Declan Rice has great luck.
great lungs.
Yeah,
Bro,
Declan
he's
Rice
not
has great
strong,
lungs.
though.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, right, when Declan Rice breaks up the play and passes the ball to someone, 2 passes later, the ball is back at Raya. You know how frustrating that's got to be?
Yeah.
It's the most frustrating thing when you work so hard to break up the play and 2 passes later, the ball is at your goalkeeper, just for them to hoof it long again and to get flicked on and someone else. And then or the attack slows down and you have to play and try to break down 11 men behind the ball again. That's why I'm pleased with Eze, because when Declan Rice breaks up the play, he needs someone to pass the ball that way forward.
Yeah. Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Always sideways and backwards. So that's why that's my response to that one, Joseph. That's my response to that one. But big up to you, man. Big up to you. I swear Arteta gets scouting ideas from international games. Calafiore and Moreno were the flavor of the month at the time during the Euros. 100%, man. These 2 8 out of 10 summer windows yesterday. Don't know what that means, but big up, man. Binks is saying Arteta got some heat from Sky Sports. Sorry, I read that one. Sorry. Oh, what am I doing? Ethan is probably injured. I don't know. You can stop kickoff tactic by having the fullback. Oh my days. This Arteta, man. This guy, bro. This kick-in thing, by the way, everybody's doing it in the Prem. It's gonna be a thing. It's going to be a thing. He wants the positive PR of a 15-year-old who was 14 last year on bench. I'm thinking he's talking about Dauman. Dauman is the only reason we beat Newcastle in preseason. He will sub him when we're chasing a goal to get a pen. Facts, man. Facts. Max Dauman is a baller, man.
He does win pens.
Sorry?
He does win pens. That's what he. I think every time he's came on, except for one time, he's got us a penalty. Yeah, that's the facts. So he does with pens.
Facts, man. Rob, big up to Rob, man. Big up to Rob, you legend. Big up Rashid, just got in. Is Arteta saying Saliba been injured post Port Vale? Yes. If you're rotating, why wouldn't you rest him against Vale and play him today? Because this is what the manager does. He already injured Hincapié, so who would he put in that position? Do you know what I'm saying? He already injured the stub, the second defender that we had. So I don't know, man. The thing is about Arteta, the way he says things, it goes over people's heads as well. But it's quite insulting to people like us because we read into that bullshit. We read into that bullshit. And when you do a press conference, I know Jez, BBK, when you guys do a press conference, you can see how much bullshit when you dissect it and you go in between the lines. You can see how much bullshit this guy talks about, and nobody questions him. No one questions him. But big up to Rob, man. Thank you. Previously, whenever this manager has been under pressure, he has folded. Today will be no different, unfortunately. Facts, man. Facts. The Arteta fun bus is slowing down. People are starting to ask questions. Facts. Jezza, we'll end on this, yeah? This midfield of Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno G, how do you feel going up against them? And do you think we can break those lines and create something out of nothing, I guess? How do you think what do you think of that?
Well, I think this is where this is going to be the pivot of the game, right? Because I don't think Rice is fully fit, personally. He looks like he's blowing a little bit in games. Zupimendi, it's a big game today, mate. You've got to step up to the mark today because I don't want to see Rice having to cover for you. Rice, I'm sorry, is not fully on it yet. Is a great opportunity now to feed Gyökeres up front. This is your game today. Because I think Eze's way better than their midfield. But it's whether and how this manager has set up the right tactics. This is what it comes down to now.
Thanks.
He's got all the things he needs, right? It's just whether his tactics work with this team. That's where I question it. Is he actually going to let these players play with what they can do? I doubt it. He'll probably play and hold them you know, in that boring setup that he likes to play. And that's where I question it, because they're at home. St. James's Park's tough place to go and play football. Tough place. The atmosphere is unbelievable. Newcastle United haven't been playing well this year. They've slipped down the ladder a little bit. They're going to come out all guns blazing today.
Mhm.
So Arteta's got to get the tactics right. And if he lets that midfield play, our midfield, then we could be in with a big chance. But that is why I still say I think it's going to be a 1-1.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I agree with you on the 1-1. I can't lie. BBK, how do you think we're going to set up against this midfield? Because we know this midfield. Bruno, Joe Linton, Tonali is one of my favorite midfields in the Premier League. If not the favorite, to be honest, the favorite.
Mhm.
I really like their midfield. I think it's class. How do you think we're going to break them down? Because we seem to have a problem creating down the middle, which we've got a big problem creating down the middle. We can't break lines. We can't find passes. And it's just everything's slow and very pragmatic. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, we will break lines today because we have one of the best creative 10s who starts for most Premier League teams in the middle.
That's
of the
your
park.
boy, yeah? That's your boy.
That's my boy. And the thing is, I think the first 15, 20 minutes, they're going to be all over us. They're going to be all over us. St. James's Park is going to be rocking. But once we weather that storm and they huff and puff and they don't score, then we'll get some change out of them. What we can't do, though, is having Trossard and Saka whipping crosses in. Bro, Dan Burn, if Walter Marte stands on Dan Burns' shoulders, they can't walk under a bridge, bro. They're massive. I think one is 6'6", they're massive. One is 6'7". This is why I went with a 2-1, because I think if we get him, if they get 2 or 3 corners, those flick-ons can be. Once the flick-on goes, then it's anybody's ball in the box. And we don't have anyone that can out-jump Dan Burn or that German giraffe. He is a real-life German giraffe. So I think set pieces can be tricky for us. If we keep the ball on the ground, advantage us. I've seen Saka used to get change out of Dan Burn when he was at Brighton. Run all around him. You know, the ball is in the air, advantage them. So we have to. And I think that might be some part of the thinking of Arteta, knowing that we can be whipping crosses in. Because forget Dan Burn at 6'6". Botman and that Thiaw is massive as well. They're 6'4" plus. So we have to keep the ball on the ground and try to find some spaces in between the lines. And I think we have the guy to do that. So Eze is the man. I'm expecting it. If Eze has the man of the match performance today, we win the game.
Let's go, people. And yes,
Great point you made there, mate, about Saka and Trossard whipping crosses in. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. We've got to play ball to feet, mate. Ball to feet.
Yeah. They want that. They want you to cross it.
But isn't that our gameplay? Isn't that how Arsenal play every week?
Yeah,
crossing the ball meaninglessly. There's no point in crossing the ball against nearly every team in the Premier League, because they're always got huge centre backs, and it's just not going to happen. And we know Gyökeres is not the best when it comes, but he can score, but like not the best in the air. Yeah. So there's really no point. I actually believe that they're forced to go to the wings because of the lack of creativity in that midfield. So hopefully it changes. Pardon me, today with Eze in that midfield. But usually when you have Moreno and Rice and Zubimendi, you're going to have to go to the wings because it's just impossible for them to carry the ball, play the ball through the midfield. Absolutely impossible if you have that midfield, to be honest. But yeah, man, big up Rob as well. Big up Rob. Slow is saying you could buy all parts to build a Ferrari, but shit mechanic means a rubbish car. Facts. Facts. 100%, man. But yeah, big up people. Jezza, any last words?
No, come on, you Gunners. Let's get the result today. We need it. We need that win. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I can see it's going to happen, but I hope it happens. I really hope it happens. We haven't won this since 2023. That's not good for Arsenal. So get the bloody result, boys, and bring those 3 points home today.
Let's go. BBK, any last words, man?
Yeah, I don't fancy this idea that a point away at St. James's Park isn't the worst result in the world. No, we need 3. We need 3 because if after every time you drop points, you say it's not the end of the world. You say that 6 or 7 times over the season, it is the end of the season. You add them up. So yeah, we have to win this. And I know most of the guys are going 1-1, but the guys on the pitch must look at that table and be like, opportunity, because opportunity only knocks so many times before it walks away. It's ruthless. But yeah, big up to you, man, and big up to the Jezza. Always a pleasure to share a screen with you. And yeah, let's go watch this game and let's. Yeah, you're on the catch up. Yeah, you're on the catch up for the.
Yeah, I'm on the catch up today. Hey, listen, it's
there's some top gooners on that shit, bro. So,
Tippity top gooners. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna school them. I'm gonna school them after this game. Trust me. Yeah. Let's just let's just see this game, how it plans out, and hopefully we do get the win. I really do hope that we get the win. Somehow in Arteta's mind, 2 draws are better than a win and a loss. Last time I checked, 3-2. Listen, man, we always play for a draw, but it is what it is. Big up to everyone that's locked in, and we're out, people. Rashid Raid on the way. Peace to everyone. Peace and love. Jezza, thank you for being here. BBK, Shane, and all the team, Aaron and everybody, man. And we're out, people. Peace. Rashid Raid.
Come on, you Gunners.